Heroes in Crisis, issue number 2 of 9 from DC Comics. And yeah, so we get part 2 of this event that nobody asked for, that nobody seems to want. And we get an interesting cover of Batman being femdomed by Harley Quinn. This is like something straight out of what's that one movie, She-Wolf of the SS? Let's do this. So yeah, in the last issue we had the heroes and villains basically staring at the camera, and then it's just like the same stupid 9 panel format where they introduce their names and a little bit about themselves, and as the story as the panels go along, they just get sad. Except this one, because as Ivy is doing her thing, Harley Quinn pops in and starts booping her. Oh my god. You know what? I'm really hating Tom King. I don't hate the person, obviously. I'm not, but I hate him as a writer. There seems to be potential. I mean, even I was gushing over Mr. Miracle the first issue. Even the second issue wasn't all that bad. But he has this pattern, and it's just really annoying. His humor isn't good. His women are completely powerful, which is fine. But I mean, they're Harley Quinn in this is basically the DC equivalent of Marvel's Squirrel Girl. And I'll get to that a little bit later. But he cucks the hell out of his male characters. And you can easily tell that he's suffering from some kind of PTSD or depression or whatever. And rather than seeking help, he's kind of shoving it into the comics and using that as a form of an outlet, a therapy outlet. Yeah, I don't care for his writing. I don't care for his characterizations. I'm really hating Harley Quinn. It's not just Tom King. I'm just hating Harley Quinn in general, which it sucks because she was legit one of my favorites. I mean, as I'm saying this, I literally have I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with sideshow figurines. I have a Harley Quinn sideshow figurine right to the right of me, and then literally right behind me as I'm recording this, I have a giant wall-sized poster of Harley Quinn. It literally takes up almost the whole entire wall behind me. That's how much I like Harley Quinn. But nowadays, the past few years, they're trying to inject Harley into everything, and I hate her character. This just running in random booping and stuff like that. I'm gonna boop you again. Oh my god. And then so we cut to Harley Quinn playing Go Fish with the penguin. At least they got her original costume back. That's kind of cool. So we got Booster Gold. And he's basically debating on if he should turn himself in or not, because he doesn't know if he committed the murders or not. And basically, for anyone who didn't read the last issue, the huge surprise, I guess, is that Harley Quinn says Booster Gold is the one that killed everyone in Sanctuary. The whole issue was set up to make it look like it was Harley Quinn, but it was actually Booster Gold who did it. But Booster Gold doesn't remember, so he doesn't know if he did it or not, so he's trying to debate on whether he should turn himself in or not. And then we got Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman as being sad sacks of shit. Pardon my language, but I legit just finished. I read I guess spoiler for what my Monday review is going to be. It's going to be Drowned Earth. So I literally just finished reading Drowned Earth before I decided to do recording on this. And in that, all these characters are they're cool. Wonder Woman's only in it for a page, but she came across pretty badass in just that one page. And I mean, it's by James oh my god, I can't pronounce his name. It's by the same guy who does Justice League and recently did the Witching Hour Wonder Woman Justice League Dark crossover. Justice League Dark, not Justice League. If he's gonna be the one that's gonna continue writing the next few issues, then I know for sure that Wonder Woman's going to come across really badass in that, because he's done that in Justice League Dark so far, and even the two Wonder Woman issues that he did for the crossover. I'm not a fan of Wonder Woman, never have been, but I enjoy her in that series. Like, that's how well he's written her, which almost kind of makes me feel like I wish she was the one that had taken over for Wonder Woman rather than G. Will Wilson. Then again, if he did take over for Wonder Woman, he probably wouldn't be able to do Justice League Dark, and that would be a shame because Justice League Dark is like phenomenal with him at helm. But yeah, basically we have these three just being sad and not knowing what to do and trying to figure out what's going on. Here's Batman's thing. So he reveals himself as Bruce, which seems very out of character. I don't know, like Batman seems to be very thing about who he reveals himself to. So I honestly would not think of him going to Sanctuary and then revealing himself in front of a camera. It doesn't seem very Batman-like. But he basically talks about how he trains partners to work with him. They become his family, and then they die, and then he's sad about that. Like this, who is this? Is this Batman? Batman? This isn't Batman. Batman doesn't. Yeah, he'll be sad when his Bat family like members die and stuff like that. But he's not gonna go to some kind of sanctuary and reveal his identity in front of a camera and then like share his fears and his sadness with doctors. That's not Batman. And we got Wonder Woman who basically talks about how, you know, she had a nightmare and she woke up and she snuck past the guards to go sneak into her mom's bedroom, where she found her mom had a golden arrow in her side, and she was like screaming in pain as like other Amazonians were trying to like rip it out of her. And Wonder Woman decided to basically shut her mouth and go back to bed. And now, like, whenever she had like many more nightmares, but she just kind of bit her lip. And yeah, that's kind of her thing. Like, Wonder Woman prefers to just hold everything in, I guess. And then we get Clark, and Superman, who basically has like identity issues. You know, he was Clark Kent, but he turned out he was actually an alien, so he's actually Superman. So he had to basically create two identities. He had to create Superman, and then he had to create Clark, who's clumsy. Clark the clumsy, Superman the reliable, but he doesn't know which one he is. Is Clark Superman trying to be flawed, or is Superman Clark trying to be better? So that's Superman's whole thing. Who asked for this? Who wants this? Who sat there thinking, you know what? This is what the fans want from their superheroes. They want them to be flawed and suffer from depression and PTSD and all kinds of mental health, bipolar disorder, and split personality, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, I know who wants this. It's Dan Didio, but come on, man. Like, why is Dan Didio still in charge? Make Jeff Johns in charge. He did awesome with Rebirth. Why are you giving the man who helmed New 52 the reins? Like, I don't get it. But this is stupid. No one wants this. But yeah, basically, the superheroes, the Trinity, show up. They find Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn literally pulls a Squirrel Girl. She beats up Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman by herself with no special powers. Like, this is just a human Harley Quinn. She basically she kicks Wonder Woman, steals her lasso, ties up Batman, and then makes her escape. Yeah, we see Batman defeated. We see Superman defeated. We see Wonder Woman not as bad as the other two, but Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn wins a 3-on-1 fight against the Trinity. Harley Quinn. Remember in the last issue where Harley Quinn went toe-to-toe with Booster Gold and stabbed him with a butter knife? You know, the guy who kind of can take like Omega Blast with his suit? That guy? Harley Quinn beat him with a butter knife. Here, Harley Quinn beats the Trinity. You know, the team that went up against Darkseid. Harley Quinn beat them by herself. Like, Tom King, what are you doing? And before anyone's like, oh, you know, like, they wanted her to beat them so that they can put a tracker or something on her and they can, you know, like, find out where she's going. It's like, I think you're giving Tom King too much credit. This is the same guy who literally had Catwoman. She beat up Barry, Wally. Remember that one? Remember that issue where she took out the Flashes in one punch? So yeah, remember when Catwoman took out the Joker all by herself while Batman was basically cucked out on the floor? But yeah, Harley beats the Trinity all by herself. And then Booster Gold basically goes to the Flash and kind of starts unloading about what happened at Sanctuary, and mentions how Arsenal was killed, Blue Jay was killed, Ivy. I did not know. So they killed off Poison Ivy as well. Is this whole event like non-canon? Is it canon? Like, so you're saying? I'm guessing it is canon because Arsenal is dead in Red Hood and the Outlaws. Remember how that was like advertised? It was going to be like Red Hood and Arsenal like going on missions that lasted all but like not even an issue, and then Arsenal's dead, and Red Hood and the Outlaws is all by himself. So why is he like Red Hood and the Outlaws if there's no Outlaws? It should just be Red Hood, but whatever. I don't care. That I'm like pissed off at what DC did to that series. I don't blame the writer at all for that. Conspiracy time. I honestly think that DC had no faith in Red Hood and they just kind of, you know, had it out there. They just threw it out there. But then when Red Hood started doing really good and like fan response was like amazing, I think DC got a little bit upset and they didn't really want that to happen. Because it seemed like just as Red Hood was like starting to get on a roll and doing really good, DC just kind of pulled the rug out from under that series, and it's like, nah, we're getting rid of the Outlaws. We're gonna make Jason Todd all by himself. First, we're gonna have Batman beat the shit out of him, and then we're gonna have Jason Todd be by himself, and we're gonna take away like the good artists and give you a mediocre artist instead. I honestly think that DC hates Red Hood and the Outlaw, and that they weren't expecting it to do as well as it did. And when it did, it pissed some people off. This is just my theory, but yeah, that's just kind of like a little sidebar. But yeah, so I guess Wally's dead, Arsenal is dead, Blue Jay is dead, Poison Ivy's dead. Bunch of other more superheroes and villains are dead. So I guess this is just a kill everybody for shock value event. And then how are you going to bring them all back? Because obviously you're going to bring them back somehow. Are we gonna have to do like another rebirth? You know what? At this point, I wouldn't mind another rebirth as long as Dan Didio is nowhere near it. Like literally fire Dan Didio or demote the crap out of him. Make Jeff Johns take his place. Reboot the entire universe again. I mean, if you have to do that, fine. I think you just retcon a lot of shit, especially this event. But I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like they literally had Wally. Like Wally was like the big figurehead for Rebirth. He's the one that's on the famous cover where everyone's like trying to reach out for his hand. And then they literally just had him pretty much become the new Flash. Like if anyone's been reading the Flash series, I kind of gave up on that. Wally like finally took over. Like Barry decided to kind of lay down his Flash title and give it to Wally, so Wally can become the official Flash. And then literally like an issue or two later, like a week or two later, Heroes comes out and they kill Wally. So it's like, all right, that went nowhere. And there's more. There's like 5 or 6 more pages, but I'm not gonna get into it just for one, copyright reasons, and two, like I usually tend not to do spoilers and stuff. I feel like I did enough. I talked enough about this series. I will notice this is so much easier to talk about comics that like I hated rather than the ones that I love. There's like only so much praise I can give to comics that I enjoy, whereas like comics that I hate, I can just talk for hours. Maybe that's why a lot of people out there like review like these crappy comics because it's so much easier. but uh, but yeah, that was Heroes in Crisis. This sucks. This whole event sucks. Tom King is just he's a terrible writer, and dude, seriously, go seek help. Like really go get help, man. Like stop trying to use these characters that you do not own, these characters that like a lot of people love, these iconic American historical characters, and stop butchering them as your form of therapy. Who is this supposed to be for? Like this feels like it's just a comic Tom King wrote for himself to get to deal with his issues, and the only other person out there who enjoys it is Dan Didio. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's Heroes in Crisis. Skip this event. It sucks. It's just plus there's plenty of events going on. But yeah, that's Heroes in Crisis issue number 2. It sucks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys next time. Later.